Hello and welcome to an episode of Atomic Vinyl Reviews. My name's Jacob, and today I'm doing a reply video to one of my comments that I got on the video where I was reviewing this fine little third-party MonsterArts Showa 1964 King Ghidorah figure. And why I got this comment is because these figures are being sold as, in a lot of cases, they're being sold as the 2019 King Ghidorah figure. So, one of the people asked me if I could help them get around this because they want to find a cheap 2019 figure, but they don't want to get conned into accidentally being sold one of these Showa figures. And that's a really good question, so I thought that this would be the perfect video, a perfect topic for a little video, where basically the topic of this video is going to be a couple of tips that I have for people who are either trying to find bootleg figures, because this actually helps people who are actively looking for these Showa figures, or just trying to find figure out what they're getting. And also, it helps people who are trying to avoid bootleg figures as well, like the guy who asked this question. And I have basically just a handful of tips here to help you guys when you're, searching for your MonsterArts 2019 King Ghidorah figures, and you don't want to get conned, or you're searching for this fine beauty of a figure here, but and this could apply to other bootleg figures, or just searching online in general. So I hope this little selection of stuff helps you. And of course, if you have stuff to add to this, leave it in the comments below so everybody can read that and kind of build up a little stockpile of stuff, and the upvoted stuff will go up to the top of the comments and really help people if you've got any more tips. But number one, if you can, shop on eBay or somewhere that uses PayPal. The reason being is because PayPal and eBay are the safest places for buyers, or the safest tools for buyers. The reason being is whenever there's a dispute, for example, if you buy a figure and it's just like the listing just has images of this thing all over it, just this stock images of this King Ghidorah, and what arrives is this thing. What you do, you take a photo of this, you write a little complaint saying, like, the item's not as described, I would like a refund. And first they're going to get you to contact the actual seller, and they might resolve it immediately and give you full refund. If not, it'll move on to actual eBay or PayPal, and generally they will, if it's within the time constraints of the, they usually give you a set couple of weeks to sort this stuff out. It's usually plenty of time, but I've gone over it in some cases when I've, not when something's arrived, but when something has been in the post, in the mail for so long that it never reaches me, and I'm just giving it more time, thinking, oh, maybe it'll arrive tomorrow, maybe I'm trying to be nice that way, and then I've lost a bunch of money, because after something never arrived, so I suspect the seller never even posted it, and I complained to them. They didn't do jack shit, and eBay couldn't help me because it was quite a long time. But aside from that, limited scenario, what's likely going to happen is it will arrive well within that time, and if it's wrong to what you wanted, you just simply post out a complaint to eBay, and they will generally sort it out. And worst case scenario, they will just force a refund out of the seller to give to you. Or what often happens actually is the seller, if they want to give you a refund, they have to pay, no matter what they say, no matter what their listing says, by the rules of eBay, they have to pay for the return shipping. So sometimes they won't even ask you to ship it back, because it will not be worth it for them to have to ship it back, then resell it, and then post it out again. So often they will just be like, they'll just let you keep the item, and you don't even have to pay anything, because they'll pay you the full refund. That has happened. Sometimes they will offer you partial refunds. You can take those if you want, if you're happy. It's just really how you want to sort it out. It really depends. They might, since these figures are pretty expensive compared to other little trinkets that you may buy online, they may actually just want it shipped back fully. So please don't use this method as a way of conning sellers out of items. Because, I don't know, that just seems a little bit mean if you're just trying to fish for free products by complaining about them not being right and trying to get refunds, because that's just abuse of power, I'd say. But other than that, that's my first little tip. So always use eBay and PayPal, and if you have any issues, you can always complain, and you'll be safe in those using those platforms. A lot of sort of private website sellers. I think in America you guys have Big Bad Toy Store. We have one in Australia called Pop Culture. They're pretty reputable and will generally sell some good stuff. You know, HobbyLink Japan, AmiYami. Those are some Japanese websites. There's a whole bunch of those kind of ones, and they're always very good, reputable ones that you can, you know, get your stuff from, and you're not going to be getting bootlegs from. I think there's EK Knight Media is another one. If you go on the SH Monster Arts website, it's the one that they have like a little grid of all the figures, and you kind of like click on the little face icon, and there's like a section called upcoming releases and all that sort of stuff. They usually have a list of websites that sell them on the side. But yeah, that's a good way of going about it as well. But if you are brave enough to go on places like eBay and AliExpress and all that sort of stuff, one thing that this is going to be my second sort of main one that you can do is you can ask the seller to send you photos of the specific product that you're getting. Sometimes they may not do this because they say, well, we don't have like the full control and presence in the warehouse that sends this out. We just send like an invoice to them and then they post it out. However, a lot of the times they can, and that's how I actually figured out that the 2019 bootlegs that they are selling on some of these sites were these Showa figures, because I saw like the first ever post, like the first ever listing on AliExpress that I found of a 2019 King Ghidorah, because I saw a recent post of like just the box, the bootleg box, and in it you could just faintly see that something didn't look right. It didn't quite look like a 2019 King Ghidorah inside that box. And I was just like, ooh, maybe this is that Showa one that I've been after all along. So I went on AliExpress, and luckily enough, there was just one of these listings. And I asked the seller for some photos of the product, the actual product, the box of it. And they did send me them, and I could still only faintly make out the inside of it, but it was looking really similar to this. So I kept pressing on, and I was like, you know what, I made it clear that I was after the Showa one, so they didn't really have to like hide it if they were trying to still hide that it was the 2019 figure. And I also asked them, like, they said that they couldn't open the box, but I was just like, you know what, I really want to buy this one, but I just want to be sure. And sure enough, the next photo they showed me was the box opened up with this guy inside. So, you know, be persistent, and you might, and just saying that you really want to buy it, but you want to be sure, might be a good way of getting some really clear photos of what you want. And that will help you later on if you want to, you know, avoid any confusion, because a lot of the ones that use stock images a little bit less trustworthy, which is why when you see sellers just openly having photos of the bootlegs, you can be pretty confident that that's what you're going to be getting. Moving on from that point, if you do get photos and it's of the box, and this time I'm talking specifically about the King Ghidorah 2019 figure, but similar things apply to different MonsterArts figures, and different figures in general. The boxes usually aren't the same, so this is what the real box of the King Ghidorah 2019 figure looks like. Now let me cut to the bootleg box, which contains the Showa Ghidorah. So, hopefully you guys can make out the difference. First of all, this one has the screen off to the side here, and that's the first sort of thing about the box that you notice. Also, this box is massive. I think their box is a little bit smaller. Another thing is, these ones are quite sort of flat and wide this way, and these real MonsterArts boxes will always have this sort of legal stickers running down it. They'll have like the Toho logo, and they'll have this one is the 65th anniversary Godzilla, and these sort of little stickers. So these are all the stuff that all MonsterArts ones will have. Of course, the 65th anniversary will likely change, but they'll have like Bandai Imaginations and a little silvery sticker of authentication, whatever you want to call it. Now, in future, if the bootleggers do copy these things, you can still hopefully see the figure through the box, which is very important as well. And just to kind of give you a brief look around the thing. And another thing is, these figures, the real ones, they say SH MonsterArts. Now, why does it say it? It's actually not written on the front, which is odd. But, you know, on the sides here, SH MonsterArts. The back here, SH MonsterArts. Now, the fake box of these actual Showa ones here, the fake box says Legend Creation, or something like that on the top left-hand side. So they're not actually listed on the box as MonsterArts, but Legend Creation figures. So if you see that, you know, you can probably compare it to the photos that I've shown you guys. But some of those things are true for different MonsterArts boxes. Of course, all those licensing pictures and all of that sort of stuff. The box for the bootleg 2019 Godzilla is pretty obvious. Like, just Google. If you have any doubt of the stuff that they're selling, just go to a reputable seller or Google the packaging for that specific Godzilla, or watch any other like YouTube unboxing review of that figure, and you're likely to see the real thing, and then you can compare it and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that pretty much comes to the end of my tips. I could also add, if you are buying from AliExpress or any sort of sites like that, or like I think Wish.com as well, or those sort of direct from China websites, a lot of them have reviews, like the actual buyer reviews, and sometimes they have people write reviews there and add photos and stuff, and the sellers themselves have ratings. If a certain item has, you know, no reviews and the seller has a pretty low rating, it's likely not the safest seller to buy it from. Now, you might be able to buy it and still get something, of course. I'm not saying that you can't. But it's generally safer if you go to ones who people have already bought from and gotten reviews. The more reviews, the more likely, you know, the more likely it's a safer bet that you'll actually get something in the mail. And obviously those reviews will confirm or deny how good the item itself is. So that's my last little tip about buying from those sort of places. And yeah, if you have any more tips for, you know, either avoiding bootlegs or buying bootlegs or that sort of kind of thing, do let us know in the comments below. And of course, guys, upvote the comments that are the most helpful and the most interesting and all that sort of stuff, because that's always good to see them pop up near the top of the page. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And yeah, may all your vinyl be irradiated vinyl. Over and out!